Okay, so as we said, setup wise was good. Just be careful of the grip. Sometimes when you're gripping the club, your right hand would start twisting a bit round this, which is what we call underneath. So if your palm's facing up the sky, that's what we call a strong grip, or a left grip. It's going to hit the ball more often to the left because your palm's facing up when really it should be facing more towards target, or down if anything a little bit, okay, but more towards target there. As we said, your right thumb now, you can see sort of covering your left thumb there in a good position there. So the setup wise was absolutely fine there. And as we said, the golf swing swings around a circle around your body there, okay? So on the left-hand side here now, you'll see as the club goes back, your left wrist sort of went down and bowed, and that certainly restricted how far you could physically swing it. So your club now would sort of swing to what I call sort of, I guess, 9:30 on a clock face, sort of 12 o'clock and 6 there. We're sort of just above the sort of 9 o'clock-ish mark. Certainly not creating much power, so therefore to get any distance, on occasions you would have felt the need to try and whack it hard. Left foot starts lifting, trying to hit it, and you're just touching top of the golf ball. Your club's overtaken the golf ball, the ball's been hit that much of the top, and the ball's not going to go very far with that contact, and not much movement now with the hips and him at all, okay? If anything, your left foot off the ground, your right foot now is going to act as like a stabiliser to stop you falling over. If he tried to move as well, you'd be on your tiptoes, you'd be dancing around the driving range, okay? So what we said was we're trying to get the club up above your head. So for me, get it to swing towards 10:30, I guess, or that sort of way. How far do you think, if I sort of put some lines on here, we got, I don't know, 6 lines there, 7 lines there, which one of those red lines do you think the club got to? Where did you feel the club go to? What do you reckon? So we'll count it 1 to 7 on the way around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which one do you reckon?
I felt it 3, but
3, yeah, okay. So as you went back now, good hinge of the wrists.
Oh.
Sure, you've had enough golf to realise that's a full backswing. Now it's a little bit collapsed, and if honestly that left foot's moved a bit more, but that's fine. Like, we're just focused on where that club gets to. That is going to be your main focal point. Work on getting that club, as we said. That was your target to get to there, and you've well surpassed that one, and you've got a much fuller backswing, okay? So now you're creating more power, okay? So from here now, as you go back down, lovely strike. The golf ball now is disappearing out the screen, beating the golf club, and when you twist through, he is starting to come up a little bit off the ground now. If we sort of clear all these lines, if we look at just your foot action there, certainly he's flatter, okay, and he's on the toe, whereas he's flat and he's up on his toe. So your weight distribution, just your knee position, how your right knee is coming in there, that one's more up on its sort of supporting the weight. And just in terms of your physical movement where you've got to, there's much fuller shoulder turn there, your hip turn, everything else has moved a lot better together, purely because of the actual movement on the way back was better. I think you were more relaxed. So when you hinge the wrist up, you create power, and then from there you release. And the golf swing really, in simplistic terms, okay, is set up, we turn our back to target, turn our chest to target, and we switch the club at the bottom, and the ball gets in the way. So many golfers on the golf course trying to bend this, do this, drop this, keep your head down, do this, lift up, bend your knees, stretch out here, pull it in, step, anything like my brain's gone, okay? In its simplistic terms, like I say, it's 2 turns and a swish, and the ball gets in the way. I think most golfers I teach overcomplicate an already difficult sport by adding multiple thoughts in their head, and I would say probably 90% of the thought they've got in their head is making them worse anyway. Even if it's the right information, this is wrong. I mean, head down, for example, is a classic case. People say, oh, keep your head down. Worse than you can do, okay, because now your body can't move. Keep your left arm straight. Now you've got tension. Okay, slow it down. Well, now you're losing distance. So all these things that we don't really want to do, miss-hit it, lose distance, and so on, are going to be caused by those 3 big myths that we hear. And we see a lot of people say, oh, get your knees down, get under the ball, try and lift it up in the air. Things that physically are actually impossible to do. And unfortunately, people then get on the golf course and play with other people, and sort of they get a bit of a rut somewhere. And what will happen is they'll get to a point where natural ability, that everyone's got some element of natural ability. I don't know how good that ability is obviously vary, but everyone's got some ability to swing a stick, which is basically what golf is, okay? People kind of reach a peak that's lower than what their potential is, partly because of the thoughts in their head of what they're trying to do. I hear people all the time go on the range and they get to a fairly good level, but they've got to that level just on their own ability, and they've actually been sort of almost peaked a little bit early because they're unable to go beyond that, because they're thinking about doing things like, I say, keeping your head down and trying to do this and lift the ball and do this and do that, and multiple thoughts in their head rather than, okay, right, let's have one clear thought and just do that, okay? So from today, as we said, just to summarise that in a nutshell, set it wise, I say, was very good. Be aware of the grip, okay?
Yeah.
Only on 2 or 3, it's like creeping under.
Yeah.
So that could be something you have to be just mindful of when you play golf, okay? We've all got our own sort of little traits that we sort of find faults that we do, okay? So make sure that grip's on top, okay? And again, nice and relaxed and loose. I think the grip pressure was a big thing when we sort of did that finger across it. How loose are you holding it?
Yeah.
The grip for me needs to be secure, but loose.
Yeah.
But people tend to grip it really tight and insecure. This is the complete polar opposite of each end and stuff. So get it nice and secure, nice and loose, okay? And then the only swing thought now is for those wrists to hinge. Get that club above your head.
Yeah.
If there's some excessive movement there with the lower half, in some ways I don't care there, Paul. Just get the club above your head, get that feeling of the wrist hinging up there, and work on it at the golf ball with it. That's now your clear thought, okay? Because in the golf swing, even when that club starts going back, it roughly goes back, 3.6, so 13.6. You're making contact at 14.9. So 1.3 seconds. What can you think of in that time?
Yeah.
Hinge your wrists. 3 words. Okay, I'll give you that. You got a quarter of a second to think of every word. All right, that's just about doable. Okay,
Yeah.
but if we've got head down, do this straight. It's just so many things that we can't do, and it ruins the game of golf, unfortunately. Does that kind of make sense?
Well, a lot of sense,
Good.
a lot, because I was like.